it's a big blow to Arsenal. It's a big blow to Mikel Arteta because first and foremost, it's a big blow to us because we don't have so many midfielders. We don't have, we don't have, the luxury like United do have. You have, they have a Scott McTominay, they have a Donny van der Beek, they have a Nemanja Matic, Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes. They have Fred, the Brazilian. I think that's it. I think that's it, right? But that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot. You have Nemanja Matic, who never plays. I think, and Juan Mata, by the way. So, and then Donny van der Beek, who actually doesn't want to, stay at United. And I will talk about that, and I'll give you my thoughts on Donny van der Beek and why Arsenal should at least try to get that one done. Let's try. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. So, Xhaka is a big blow, especially to Mikel Arteta. And what he wants to do. Because if you still remember, at the end of the summer, Edu said we didn't see it fit to buy in another midfielder because we believe Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka are going to be the two men in that pivot. And look, what he said absolutely makes a lot of sense because he was saying he was explaining on how the club is building a foundation. And how they want to have all these kind of things rolling and things like that. But again, think about it. If we are Arsenal Football Club, we've got to have three good midfielders, not only two. For the past 2 seasons, we have had this problem. Partey gets injured, or one key midfielder gets injured, and the whole quality is absolutely down, right? And I think we are in the same situation because you can't guarantee that from now, October the 1st, until then, January the 1st, 3 straight months, Partey is going to be playing football match day in, match day out, and he doesn't get injured. Or he doesn't get a knock, right? So if Partey, for instance, gets a knock, because for me, without Xhaka, then Partey becomes God in the Arsenal midfield. Sorry to say. He becomes the God in the Arsenal midfield. So if Partey gets injured, Xhaka is ruled out for 3 months. Where do you go from there? Right? You're going to start doing the tinkering, and then you're going to lose. Before you know it, you're going to lose 3 games, 9 points gone. You're going to draw 2 games. That is around 4 points. 4 points gone. You're back in 13th. You're back in 12th. So I think it was a lame transfer decision not to sign in a bargain of a player like Houssem Aouar. If they wanted to use Xhaka and Partey, well and fine, but you're never going to use Xhaka all the time. You're never going to use Partey all the time. You could have got a bargain in Houssem Aouar. I thought it would have been something that that would have worked out. But let's stop the blame game. Xhaka is out for 3 months. Where do we go from here? There is an option that Obusam Lokonga steps in, and I think this is his time because he's played well ever since he came in, but that is not announcing football. That is the same stage, where Ainsley Maitland-Niles got a chance to be our right back, and then just played some good football. I think Lokonga's been good, absolutely very good, but he needs now to play what you call announcing football. Write the statements, get the chance, take it up with both hands, use it. And the only way we're going to believe that he's using the chance, the only way we're going to believe that Obusemi Lokonga is actually, taking his chance with both arms, is by playing football that says Xhaka got no place in this team. This is my position. Because for me, with Obusemi Lokonga, one of the things he has is he's got this kind of, I don't know what I should call it. He's got this kind of monopoly, right? He's got that kind of monopoly. There is no number 6 at Arsenal that is as good as Obusemi Lokonga. We've got to say it. We've got to say it. Say it in the comments, comment below. I think Partey is good as a box-to-box. We've seen that. He can rule over the midfield. But there is no calm player in that side. There is no calm player that plays as Obusemi Lokonga, especially if you want him to play as especially if you want him to play as a 6, which I think building his career around him playing as a 6 is what we've got to do. He's good. absolutely good. The tackle is good. His passing is, is absolutely lit, and he's not that kind of adventurous lad that wants to that's gonna be caught up out of position 6 5 5 6 times. It might happen 1 or 2 times, but I just feel like he's got the ability to monopolize that area, to monopolize that number. Hey, this is my area, don't tell me anything, right? So Abusam Lekonga is the first option. But think about January then. If Xhaka does not heal by January, we will have Abusam Lekonga, Smith Rowe, and Martin Odegaard as the three midfielders for a whole month, right? I don't think that's a wise decision. I don't think that is a wise decision. If we want to go back to Europa League, if we want to go back to Champions League, one of the things we've got to do, and we've got to absolutely focus on this, is squad depth. That's one of the things. Over time, clubs that lack squad depth have struggled. And we will struggle if we do not have squad depth. So our midfield is going to be empty come January. And even if it's not empty, the withdrawal of Thomas Partey to go to AFCON only makes it worse, right? It only makes it worse. Because you'll have Xhaka and Lokonga. I don't think both of them are that good in providing what you would call, the necessary power, to light up ESR and Martin Odegaard, like Partey does it. So, Xhaka in January, should Arsenal go for a midfielder? That's a big question there. And I would love to hear from you. Should we go for a midfielder? Should Arsenal panic? Because, it's two ways. You could decide to go for a midfielder in January, and then you go for a panic buy. And I don't like panic buys. Absolutely. The likes of Kim Kalestrom, the likes of Yusuf Benayoun, the likes of Santos, the likes of which other panic buy did we bring in? I remember we also brought in Sylvester from Manchester United, the likes of Danny Welbeck. Those are trash panic buys. I don't want them. I want us to go. I want us to go logical in the market because that is how it works. I've always admired those transfer policies of the likes of Leicester City, Everton, I should say Everton, Dortmund, and Liverpool. You've got to be logical at the end of the day. There's no question about that. You've got to be logical. So if we are going to go logical, you get someone in on loan in January to cover for Thomas Partey, right? And Granit Xhaka, who is just coming back. Because if a player is coming back, is coming from a 3-month injury, you don't expect them to hit the ground running like they've been training for months and months, right? So I think we should get in a new player on loan. Now, I've not thought about that. We could go to Borussia Mönchengladbach and maybe try to convince them to give us Dennis Zakaria, right, to replace Xhaka in January. Dennis Zakaria could be a very good option. And actually, Zakaria is a better option if you got him in January because with Dennis Zakaria, his contract runs down. I don't know if I've not really found out if he has renewed, but the last information I had is that he had not renewed his contract. It runs down come this summer. If he doesn't renew, you get him on a free. Now, Borussia Mönchengladbach would come January, they will want to fight at least to get some penny, some pennies, a few pennies out of the sale of Dennis Zakaria because he's a top midfielder, top player. You don't want to let him go on a free. He also plays for Switzerland, so if you don't like Swiss midfielders, then Zakaria is not one for you. But I think with Dennis Zakaria, he affects Albert Lokonga greatly because he's just going to play in that area where Albert Lokonga plays, and together with Thomas Partey when Partey comes back. But you could play him with either Martin Odegaard or Smith Rowe, or even with Albert Lokonga in January. So it's logical to go with a player like Dennis Zakaria. You might not get him on loan, but you might get him on a small fee in January. Because in the summer, Gladbach wanted to keep him. He had 1 year left on his contract, and I think you could get him. You could get him. We could have got him between 18 to 19 million, right? 18 to 19 million euros. That is close to 15 million pounds. Now, in January, with player left with 6 months on his contract, what you could do is you could tie him down to a to a long-term contract, and then he joins you in the summer on a free. That would be good. That would be absolutely good. But we need a quick solution. We need a quick fix. I mean, the, the house is falling. The house, is falling on us. We need a quick fix. We need a quick plumber. So I was thinking about Zakaria as a quick plumber, as a quick solution, as a quick fix. Because if you think about the long term, I would think about players like Abdoulaye Dokore. Those are the players I could think about. But you're not getting Abdoulaye Dokore in January. Think about that. You're not getting Abdoulaye Dokore in January. So option one, to replace Xhaka, you could go for Dennis Zakaria, who could be short term and long term. He's 24, just 24. So that shows you, the kind of benefits you're getting. You sign him in January. Of course, I know Arsenal will want to try to get him on a free after January. If you know Arsenal, you know us. If a player could be available on a free in in the summer, we can't actually go for him in January. But I'll go for him in January. Dennis Zakaria, great man. Right. So option one, Dennis Zakaria. Right. Xhaka is out. Partey goes for AFCON. Bring in a Swiss midfielder that is never going to be disturbed by AFCON. And why the hell is AFCON being placed in the middle of the league? Can't you just place it at somewhere? I mean, why do we seem to be the problem? I'm just myself, because if you put AFCON in May, right? If you put AFCON in May, I wouldn't mind. I absolutely wouldn't mind, because the league is ending. But it is in the middle of, the Premier League. And then African federations, football federations will start asking, oh, why is it that our players do not break through in the European leagues? But if your players, are breaking through and then you're taking them in January, to, once every 2 years, you're sabotaging the system, right? That is 4 game weeks. 4 game weeks. This is business. So, right, I don't want to take it out on AFCON. I do have my problems with African football governance, but not today. Right. The other option we will think about is Yves Bissouma. But for me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to sign Bissouma in January unless you're beating off competition. Does Arsenal do such kind of deals? I don't know. I've not seen ourselves do such kind of deals, but it would be a good one. It would be a really, really nice one. And because Liverpool want him, and I think he's left with 1 year this summer. He's left with 1 year on his contract, right? That means more attention. Probably not from Chelsea, but of course Chelsea. I don't think they will sign Saul Niguez. I don't think it's going to have a very good, fantastic period at Chelsea. So I don't think they will sign Saul Niguez up. N'Golo Conte is getting a little bit, old, so they might need to fit in someone there. But I think the two lions or three lions that could fight for Yves Bissouma is Manchester United, because United know now that the Mark Fred partnership in the midfield, McTominay and Fred, is not working out. They need to get serious midfielders, and maybe that just speaks volumes of how intense the competition could be with Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United fighting for Yves Bissouma. But if you want him as a quick fix, unless did Mali qualify for AFCON? I think they did. Because he represents Mali on Africa. He represents Mali, doesn't he? Mali. Yeah, he represents Mali. So I don't see in any way in any shape or form, I don't see Javis Bissouma being our quick fix in January. Yeah, he's a good player. Many Arsenal fans want him. You love him, I know. But January, he's not a quick fix. That's it. He's absolutely not a quick fix. If you want a quick fix, if we want a quick fix, you want a player who's not going, in AFCON as well. Because if Pat is going out for AFCON and Bissouma is also going out for AFCON as well, unless I'm mistaken, unless he's not going out for AFCON, I should get more information on that. But I know he's gonna represent. I know he's gonna represent Mali in Afcon. So it's not one thing I'll do in January. But like I said, it's gonna be a lot of competition in the summer. You can tie him down. Of course, you can't tie him down. You can't tie him down to um, a contract because he's still under contract by with Brighton. But what you can do is maybe sign him up in January. It happens. You could talk to Brighton, and if they accept the terms, you sign him up in January. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. But Bissouma, January, it's not happening for me.